there, and welcome in to another PHNX Suns pregame, brought to you as always by our friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Right now, if you download the Sportsbook app and sign up using the code PHNX, after placing just a $1 bet on any NBA team to score a point, you can win $100 in free bets instantly, again, when you use the code PHNX. I'm Lindsey Smith, that's Saul Bookman, that's Espo, and we've got a very special guest joining us tonight on our pregame show, Mega Ran, a musical artist. What's up?
Hey, thanks for having me, y'all. Yeah. This is fun, man.
Thanks for being here because Saul wore pants tonight instead of shorts.
I did.
Just because you're here, and we appreciate it.
Oh, is that for guests?
I mean, Espo wore shorts the day before. He likes to exclude that part. He always likes to throw me under the bus, but I just wanted to prove that I had better legs than Espo, so that's why I wore them the next show.
I'm glad I wore pants. I almost wore shorts.
Okay. I mean, that would have been ironic.
Yeah, that would have been
three shows in a row. Yeah. Somebody wearing shorts.
Nope. She's like, fuck that.
So, Mega Ran.
Yeah.
Share with us a little bit about yourself, and then Saul, help explain what's going on, because it's all exciting stuff.
For sure.
Well, I'm a former teacher turned musician. I'm from Philadelphia. I moved to Phoenix maybe 15 years ago. Was doing a lot of teaching in middle school, coached basketball, and was on the side making music in the evenings, playing a lot of video games. And then a couple of songs of mine kind of just started to go viral here and there. And it just really gave me kind of a jump start to really try to make it my full-time kind of career. And so I've just been out ever since then, just kind of playing gigs, touring the country, the world sometimes, playing conventions and just really interesting places and taking what I do, my interesting form of hip hop. Some people call it like nerdcore hip hop. They call it geek hip hop, geek rap, whatever, conscious rap. I don't know. They throw a lot of labels on it. I like to just say it's good, feel good music. Where there's a lot of fun. We like to explore all the different things that have made us who we are, whether it was sports, comic books, video games, anime, cartoons, all those things are wrapped up somewhere in my music. And I have a new album out called Live 95. And that's probably why I'm here, because it's mostly a basketball album. And I feel like it's relevant to your interests.
Absolutely. Well, we got to give a shout out to the mayor of PHNX, and I have already relinquished that title. And I said, I gave him approval to use the mayor of PHNX. Yeah, there was no vote. It was just self-appointed, and we have just gone with it now. Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about this.
Derek Montilla is now the mayor of PHNX. But you guys are great friends.
Yeah,
you guys have known each other for quite a while, and he had mentioned you as a budding hip hop star, and that you had a lot of great music. But the thing that really piqued our interest, obviously, was the Live 95 and the basketball themed stuff that you had brought to the table. And I think we actually have a clip. Why don't we run that?
They infiltrated the hood like liquor on closed campuses. Bouncing basketballs in my living room, old paneling. Life happens, no panicking, just handle it. 5 kids and 2 beds, that's low management. Struggling to make it like high pressure free throws. Couldn't ask the soul for assistance, man, that's the ego. My upbringing was gunslinging, intense living. Only cat in Philly that didn't shoot was Ben Simmons. If you know what's up, you know I never sold a drug. But do I know the plug? I give that Jordan shoulder shrug, it's me.
I mean,
hey,
that is so good.
I actually have a story. So I have a good friend who I've known since kindergarten, and he sent me this song when you dropped it before I even knew Derek knew you, and he's like, "Look, man, this Live 95 is what we grew up on.
Yes.
This song's great," and I loved it before I even knew you were
Yes.
you were Derek's
Wow.
boy. Like. Live 95, was that like your game growing up? Because that was mine.
God.
For
That was
sure,
everybody's game, man.
I played it computer with my buddy
Oh my
Chris
gosh.
and
Oh, yeah.
SNES. Have you ever
SNES, Genesis. We will the whole block would come to my
Yes,
house and we'd
yes.
have tournaments nonstop of this game, like all night long, just playing it and just getting better. And, it was the first game that really involved because video games, you think of like arcade style basketball, NBA Jam, or just over the top. But this was the first game that was really like about simulation, about stats. Like we were stat junkies. We loved, basketball cards. We loved reading about everybody's stats. And so you could get assists, you could get points, you could get rebounds, so it was just so cool to be able to do all those things. So yeah, Live 95 was the beginning for me. Like, man, we had some heated matches.
Yo, sometimes fights.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes fights.
even some fights.
I remember playing Live 95, and my buddy had the Magic, I had the Warriors, and the Warriors had Chris Mullin at the time. And I came back from a 25-point deficit, and to this day, I never let him forget it. It was just awesome. It was just one of those, one of those games that you could just play all night long.
You don't know pain until you have to play that game on a keyboard, sharing that keyboard with your best friend. Like on a computer.
That's dedication.
Yeah, that sounds hard.
Yeah, a computer with less power than calculators have now. That stuff was tough. But I love the song, the Sports Center sample in the background. That took me back to when I fell in love with basketball. Like that, and that was awesome, man.
Thank you. I got to shout out the producers, my buddy DJ DN3, to the live drums on it. The horns, we were trying to capture, of course, the Sports Center theme and feel. There's a group called New York Brass. They've done a ton of stuff with like Kanye and huge artists, and they just good friends who also love hip hop, love video games, love all the stuff we love. And we're like, man, I can add the little sprinkle on the top to kind of take it over the top. So yeah, real proud of the way that record came out. And my boy Med, who shot that video in his apartment.
Wow.
We just kind of made it look like, like the old 90s draft footage.
Yes.
I wanted to get like a really big suit. You know how like, in the
that
90s, the guys had the suits that were like.
If you would have come out with a red, with the black stripe, pinstripe, like Jalen Rose did for the draft, I would have lost it.
Yo, the Jalen Rose pinstripe. Oh man, maybe for the remix.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we appreciate you so much for joining us tonight, and we're going to talk some Suns here. But
actually, can give him some Tractor Beam, the new song that you dropped, man.
Yeah,
and that video.
Thank you.
That video is so cool, and I love the song as well.
Thank you, man.
What was kind of the inspiration? Obviously, video games, the inspiration there, but like. Did you always want to kind of be in a video game? Is that how this all came about?
Oh, of course. That was my thing. Like growing up, we're playing games, and then later you learning kind of how they're created. You talk to people who read the books about the developers, and then you're like, man, what if I was a game character? So that's kind of where that went. So yeah, Tractor Beam, we go through this evolution of game history where it starts off, it's like little 8-bit things moving around, and then it gets fully 3D animated and like really blown out. So yeah, I've been real proud of that. The new record just came out last month. It hit Billboard. It's on Billboard 200 for the last few weeks. And I'm just really happy, like being able to do a thing about a thing you love, like basketball. We love the Suns. We love like sports. But to be able to put that, I'm sure you guys relate because you work in sports. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like you obviously love it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. You're like, no, I don't like basketball.
Not at all.
I've never even picked up a basketball.
But yeah, like it's like peanut butter and jelly, man. Like being able to do what you love and put it together is just living the dream.
One of the things that we've always talked about since we launched PHNX was being a part of the community, getting people that are out there in the community to come in and be a part of what we're trying to build here. That's why you're here today. We're trying to also convince them to do a little song for us. So we'll see. We'll see if that ever works. But we're just happy to have you here.
Thanks.
And really happy to share with the audience what you can do. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Shall we talk a little bit of Suns versus Mavs?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, of course, it's the Suns and the Mavs tonight, as well as on Friday, a very random scheduling hangover from like the COVID schedule and not wanting to have teams travel as much. But we're going to be without a bigger face on the court tonight.
Yes, Frank Kaminsky will not be playing tonight.
That's right.
So.
Let's take a look at the injury report for tonight's game. Of course, for the Phoenix Suns, Frank Kaminsky will be out, as Espo said, with that right knee soreness.
You really put the CIC like that, huh? All right. Okay.
And then,
why are you hating on proper punctuation?
It's just so ridiculous.
I mean, for the Mavs, Luka Doncic will not be playing tonight.
Is that even the right font?
That is the font and what happens when you put the appropriate punctuation on it.
And then Maxi Kleba is also out.
Which is
you
the
guys
best
can read
name
the
in the
reasons
league.
why.
Maxi Kleba.
Yeah, it's a great name for sure.
Look, Luka is just ducking DA. Let's make that very clear.
Yep.
He saw DA came back and he went, I can't play him. I'm 3-9 against DA when we play. I'm gonna back out on this one. So
He's scared.
I thought he was 1-8.
No, it's 3-9 according to the game notes that I read hurriedly before we
But
came in here.
that's Suns Mavs, right? Recently?
Suns Mavs since the
So
draft.
there's been a few that DeAndre has missed, and I think a few that Luka might have missed.
Okay,
so
so
that might be
DA
why.
versus Luka. DA is 8-1 against Luka.
The point's the same. Luka doesn't want any of it.
That's
is what
right.
I'm saying.
You don't want
He's
it.
a little scared.
I can't read that
Yeah,
from
dude,
here.
you have this screen so small we can't see
He said if you're
anything.
doing it for Luka, you got to do it for Dario too.
Oh, you got to do the
Ooh,
font
see?
changes and stuff.
That's right. That's right. Call
Okay.
him out, chat. Call him out.
The
Munson,
Cove crazy
14.
sticking to me.
There
I
you go.
appreciate it,
Yep.
as always.
We will have that fixed and ready to go for Friday's game, right, Espo?
No, I'm going to do what Saul wants and take Dario off the graphic.
No.
Yeah. He's out. He's not coming back anytime soon. Leave him
Hey.
off.
All this. Do you see what we got to deal with here, man?
Blaze
Megatron
Megatron
listen,
said
first
I'm
of
half
all, my man
Croatian, and I
completely-
appreciate the effort on punctuation.
My guy completely missed the lead. He just learned what hip hop was yesterday when we brought up your song. So I don't even want to hear it from Espo today.
But I
As a-
vibe with geek hip hop,
although he
right?
did kill the Lindsey versus Kid Cudi thing, so
Yeah.
I do got to give you credit
Yeah,
for that.
That's
Okay.
facts. I think we were both kind
Yeah.
of surprised.
Yeah, right. We were surprised. We're like, what? Who is
That's
this
no
dude?
shade, Espo. It's just, you
It's
you,
shade.
just weren't
It's totally
I
you
gotta put up
have
with
like shade,
interest
though.
in other areas that we
It-
probably wouldn't excel
This
in.
whole show is just shade.
That sounds like shade.
Don't worry about it.
Well, the crazies kind of started it tonight. They called
always
you out.
start it. They're kicking a man when he's down. They know Frank's out and I'm hurt, and then they come at me. I see how it is.
So this will lead us into our next graphic for our producer Shane. Yesterday in our show, Espo, you and I were both kind of on the same page that between Wednesday and Friday's game against the Mavs, we felt the likelihood of the Suns dropping one of them
Mhm.
was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Those were
Mhm.
decent odds.
I-
Now that we know Luka isn't playing, has your opinion changed at all?
No, I still think a 9-game winning streak is the biggest they've had since 2010. It's eventually going to come to an end, and tonight, honestly, and you can go to the picks, Shane, if you want. Tonight, I feel like it is likely the case. I say it's Mavs by 4 tonight.
Even without Luka out.
I think so. It's just one of those kind of schedule losses coming back off a trip. And I don't think the run continues. It's going to come to an end at some point, and Lindsey and I agree here. She very much more aggressive than I say.
More so.
777-point win for the Mavs, but the results
lucky
the
sevens
same.
though. So there you go.
Listen, I just figure, Luka's out. Maybe Kristaps will get a few more touches
He's
tonight.
gonna
I
score
don't know.
795 touches
700
tonight.
points. You
Yes,
heard it here
yeah.
first.
I get what Espo's saying. Like, and normally I would have agreed, but this Suns team is just different. And I think, Espo, we also kind of talked about this yesterday about how like the residual, PTSD from Suns teams of the past is kind of creeping up here in this pick.
Totally.
And you're like, there's just no way they can win 10 or 11 or 12. I get that kind of logic, but in this game without Luka, I think it's too much for them to overcome against this team that should win.
So initially, I thought they would lose tonight's game, win Friday's game. I kind of feel like I want to flop those.
I think
two.
they're going to take them both.
I would love. They should. In theory, they should.
You
But
want to
at
make a
some
bet?
point in time,
What
You wanna make a bet?
What do you want to
I
bet?
don't know.
What do you want to bet?
I'll buy you dinner on Sunday when we since you got to be here all day. I'll buy you dinner on Sunday.
All right, and vice versa.
All
There we
right,
go. Even
deal.
though we typically Espo or I buy dinner
I was
every
like,
single
can I
night
just
anyway.
get lumped into the winning side of whoever this is?
Lindsey freeloads is what we're
Yeah,
saying.
basically.
Hey, I asked for your Venmo the other night. You basically ignored me.
And I went, "What is Venmo? I'm old. What do you want?"
What's
Oy
a
vey.
Venmo? I don't know.
All right,
Do you wire
Megaran,
transfer?
Megaran, what do you think? What's your pick for tonight?
I'm kind of in the middle of everybody here where I do feel like Suns might be kind of cue for a letdown, but I just think without Luka, I think the game's just closer than anybody expected, but I still think Suns win. I think they pull out a really close one that shouldn't be as close as it is.
Espo, you want to tell us what Vegas thinks?
Vegas thinks that I'm an idiot. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that much. Vegas has the Suns by 8 tonight. And
Wow.
I'm just going to say this right here, right now, because we got to make a DraftKings pick of the week. If you were in a gambling mood tonight, I'd smash that +8 on the Mavericks, because even if the Suns win, like Mega Ran saying, I think it's going to be much closer
I
than
think it's
8
closer
points.
than that.
I'm taking the Suns in the over.
So that's my DraftKings pick of the
Shane,
week.
our bets guy, agrees with me. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
And actually, that's all you need to know. Typically, you want to go opposite of Shane. And Espo's been on a heater of late, so maybe he's going to be right. He has been hot.
This is true.
There it is.
He has been.
Espo was on my betting show yesterday without me and went 0 for 2.
That's because
So maybe
I
he's
got
cold
jammed into
now.
picking. That's because I got jammed into picking 2 of 3 games, and Johnny had already made his picks, so I had to take the leftovers on that one.
You didn't have to disagree with him. You could have agreed with him.
No, I was told, you got to create some friction on the betting show, so I had to go against my own instinct.
Are you schooled to the game of gambling now?
A little bit. Derek's been kind of schooling me a little, but I've been cautiously dipping my toe in here and there, but I'm afraid to go like way in.
If you haven't opened up that DraftKings Sportsbook app, make sure you hit that up for $1. There you go.
Yeah,
Hey.
because
$100 back.
as I
Saw the
mentioned,
salesman. There you go.
as
All
I
right.
mentioned earlier, our friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook app are offering new customers who use the code PHNX a chance to win $100 in free bets. So you use that code when you sign up. Again, that's PHNX. You place just a $1 bet, or it could be more. It just has to be a minimum of a $1 bet on any NBA team to score a point. And if they do, then you win $100 in free bets. It's really that easy. I mean, it's the NBA, so I would be shocked if there was a team out there in any game that didn't score a point. So it's basically a no-brainer.
I mean, that would be the history of
Yeah.
Has that ever
Yeah.
happened?
No.
Can we look that up?
No.
I
Has
don't
there
know.
ever been a team
Maybe
that just
back in the
couldn't
Peach
score?
Basket era,
Before the shot clock,
or maybe
definitely.
the Aztecs when the game of basketball was on the side of a building and they had to throw it for their life.
I think actually Derek did this research on the bet show when we first read it, and he said that there was a high school game in Alabama that was 2-0, and that was the closest thing he could find.
What?
Gosh. Wow.
That must have been a really
That has
bad
to be
I
the
mean,
worst game to
jeez.
watch ever.
group
Oh
of
my God.
players.
So I used to play, bringing it back
Blessings.
to video games. There's this video game called NCAA basketball on. It had that 3D view, and it's like blue in the crowd. There's no crowd. But if you fouled out too many guys, the rule was, so I don't even know if this is a real rule, that the game was a forfeit and you lost 2-0. So I wonder if that was how the game became 2-0. Like the score gets erased. Like if you foul out too many people, it's a 2-0 loss.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Oh
I don't know
my
if that's still
gosh.
on the books, but that was like
Don't
an
foul,
old
Betty. Don't
college
foul.
rule.
Dang it! I told you not to.
I had 30. Now I got 0.
That's crazy.
I want to look that up, but yeah, like that was always the rule in that game because I would go for steals so much, and if you fouled out too many guys, they were just like 2-0, game over.
Out of control.
We got to address the elephant in the room too, by the way.
One second. Let me read a disclaimer because we were talking about DraftKings Sportsbook app. That's 21 and older, Arizona only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for detail. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Espo.
I'm not comfortable being called the elephant in the room. I'm a little sensitive after they made fun of me for eating too much ice cream
But
last
this is
show.
funny that you're mentioning that because Chris was like, I was referring to Espo's voice as in the new guy because Espo's voice is a little bit different tonight. If you don't know, it's actually because puberty is hitting right now, and congratulations.
Yes. One of 2 drops, so we'll see how the rest goes. I had to bring
One of 2.
One of 2.
I had to bring the deep voice. We had a musician in the house.
Wait till you hear the
know.
post game. It's gonna be.
I'm gonna be very white by the post game.
All right. So we kind of talked slightly about this, but Mike B in the chat asked a question for us. He said, "Isn't it crazy how Cuban?" Well, he didn't ask a question, but I'm making a question. Isn't it crazy how Cuban struggles to put good talent around Luka? I see Luka leaving and going to play with his friend Jokic. What y'all think?
I
do think it's a little bit surprised. Okay. Not to compare the two, but like obviously it took a while for the Suns to put some really good talent around Devin Booker as well. You would hope, as if you are a Mavs fan or you just want to see another team in the NBA kind of whatever, that he would be able to put some better talent around Luka.
I think they've done a good job of putting support players around Luka. Now,
with what's available.
has Luka, maximized everybody else's talent? I remember watching a clip last year of somebody breaking down Porzingis and Luka, and it was not pretty in favor of Luka. Like my man was open all the time at the top of the key, just sitting there, and Luka's forcing up shots and double teams and triple teams, and it's just like if you look at it from that perspective, you can see like, okay, well, it doesn't matter who's on his team. If he ain't looking for him, then that's it. And he stuffs the stat sheet, so it's a little confounding as to why that's happening or why he's icing out Porzingis. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, there's clearly something there.
I
Like
think
there's
so,
rumors
too.
there's beef there for a while.
When did Porzingis become your man, your guy?
I'm just saying, my guy was wide open at the
I
top.
mean, when 7-footers can't grab 10 rebounds, I don't have anything to say about him personally. I mean, he's great on offense, but I mean, what, 7'3"? 7'3"?
Yeah, yes.
Is he 7'3"?
Yes.
Literally,
Damn.
Blaze
This is
Megatron
huge.
said to be 7'3".
I mean,
not
if you
use
can't
the
grab
gifts you
10
have,
rebounds,
shaking my
I'm
head.
from the Charles Barkley school of thought. You know what I mean? And Barkley always says, if you're a big man, you can't rebound. Like, what's the point?
Charles Barkley wasn't even a big man. He was he's 6'4"
Right.
in reality, and was able to grab boards. So yeah, that's a mentality. Chris Stapps definitely doesn't have it. But why are we hating on my man Boban? He's talent, right?
I
Luka's
love
got Boban. But
He
honestly,
got Hardaway. He
He's
got
such a good character.
Brunson.
yeah,
He's got some.
but we're in the age of player empowerment. Some of this is on Luka himself. He needs to recruit guys. So you
True.
can't put that all on
Because they
ownership.
did. There was talk too when we got Chris Paul here that Devin was very instrumental in that as well.
Yep.
So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Obviously, Luka could be trying. Who knows? But you're right. He definitely has to play a role in that. And the drama, that subtle drama, I don't know how bad it was, but of the offseason that was rumored between him and the organization, that doesn't help.
No,
That doesn't help
no.
at all.
But then he signed the max, so
So he stuck
Yep.
there for a
yeah,
while.
so it didn't
He's
really
there.
matter. And also, like this year, they are playing better. They're playing better together. They're one of the best teams in the NBA
They're
right now,
9-4.
record-wise. You know what I mean? So you gotta give them their respect. It seems like maybe they're hashing that out. Porzingis has had some good games, so okay, maybe they came to a meeting of the minds and realized that one needs the other. Because even though my man doesn't grab 10 rebounds, he's still an offensive threat, and he can help that team get to where they need to go.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you run into a good team that plays actual defense, that goes out the window. So we'll see tonight. Well, we won't see tonight. Maybe Friday night we'll see what Luka's going to look like against a good defensive team in the Suns.
Hey, look, Fabio in the chat makes a great point. Boban was in John Wick. Luka's never been in a John Wick film. So
Facts.
Well,
I'm
there it
just
is.
I'm
saying.
so glad that the chat, like I love that you guys love Boban because I feel like Boban is one of those players that no matter what team he's on, you cannot root against the guy. Like
You can't
he's
root
just,
against the guy.
he
but
has such a great
you
personality.
guys love the underdog.
look,
I
You
do,
guys
but
love the
Boban
underdog.
specifically, like his personality, he brings
Yeah,
so
he's great.
much charisma to the table.
He's like George Mirajan,
Like, oh, God.
yeah,
Right?
Like a character, I
Look,
guess.
yeah.
look,
Yeah.
except he doesn't have. Well, he does have as big a head. So never mind.
look, I really hope Frank's back on Friday because I need my Frank Boban minutes. That's like Nirvana for me in basketball.
Yeah.
I need those minutes on Friday.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen, we are 6 minutes out from tip-off. Anything else before we go grab snacks and drinks and get ready to watch the game?
Cam Johnson's going to drop 20 tonight.
Let's go. I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
We need this.
We do.
We need this.
Get over to Mega Ran's YouTube page
Oh yeah.
and check out Tractor Beam
Yes.
and Live 95. You gotta check those out. You won't
Yes.
you won't be disappointed. It may actually be more entertaining than the game tonight. Is
Probably.
what I'm thinking.
Probably. What's our matchup of the night, Shane?
Bold.
Where's
Ah,
there we
Zingas
go.
Aiton?
interesting.
I-
Mm.
I think DA takes this one
If
tonight.
Yeah.
Aiden doesn't drop 25 on his head, I'm going to be severely disappointed. So between Aiden and Cam, I'm expecting 50. There you go.
Wow.
I would love to see it.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't
we
love
all
to
would.
see that?
Yeah.
The
No.
Dallas Mavericks, I'm
Well,
guessing.
they may
Well,
not. Does
Never
Porzingis drop 20, you guys think, tonight?
Yeah,
Does he get his average?
I think so because he's gonna have to do the scoring
got
if
to.
the
Yeah.
Mavs are in there.
Yeah,
so.
sure.
Yeah,
That's true.
that would make a lot
He'll
of
get
sense.
5 rebounds though, so
Oh,
it
you
won't
know.
really matter. Yeah.
All right. Well, until then, enjoy the game. You can follow along with us on Twitter at PHNX_Suns. And as Espo said, you can find Megaran on Twitter at Megaran. So Be sure to check him out on
Visit his-
social media
visit his
and on
YouTube
YouTube.
channel.
It looks
Yeah.
like
YouTube
Meg
channel.
Ryan when you look at it real quickly. Like when you're just like, what? I thought that's it. No, it's Mega Ran.
Yeah.
I got super excited that Meg Ryan followed me, but I'm still excited as you
Sorry.
are too. So
Sorry to disappoint.
Quite
That's
the
all right.
contrast there.
She ain't got bars. She ain't got no
no,
bars.
her music
She got
sucks.
no bars.
Her music sucks.
No bars. No bars.
She can't spit anything. It's all good.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you right back here after the game and enjoy it.
Ahoy hoy.